Here are the times Meg Griffin was a complete psycho in Family Guy. In Valentine's Day in Quahog, the Griffins each find themselves tangled in romantic chaos, but leave it to Meg to take things to a whole new level of weird. Desperate for attention, she agrees to go on a date with a guy she met online, who at first seems like the perfect match.
Toby?
Meg?
Hi! Wow, you look just like your picture.
You don't look anything like yours.
Their date starts off normal enough, with Meg feeling like she's finally met someone who understands her. But then, things take a seriously dark turn.
So what should we do next? Oh my god! What happened?
Oh, I just harvested your kidney.
The guy casually steals one of her kidneys. Most people would be horrified, call the cops, or at least, you know, leave. But not Meg. She's so starved for affection that she just shrugs it off and continues the date. What follows is easily one of the most bizarre dates in Family Guy history. And then this happens.
For me? My kidney!
I wanted you to have it.
Thank you! Oh, this has been the best Valentine's Day ever.
She's beyond desperate. For Meg, this wasn't just a good date. It was the best date ever. So much so that she decides to keep her stolen kidney as a souvenir. Meanwhile, the rest of Quahog is tangled in their own Valentine's Day disasters, from Peter and Lois trying to reignite their spark, to Quagmire dealing with a messy one-night stand, and Stewie getting traumatized by the 60s. But even with all the madness, Meg's storyline easily takes the crown for most psycho moment of the episode. In Christmas is Coming, Meg takes Stewie to see Santa, but things take a bizarre turn when she sits on Santa's lap to calm Stewie down, only to receive an unexpectedly intense holiday surprise.
Santa's no one to be scared of. He's kind and warm, he loves unconditionally, and he makes everyone feel so...
What just happened?
This sends Meg into a spiral of confusion and desire, leaving her obsessed with recreating the experience.
Ready for me, Meg? Are you ready to get up?
Huh?
I said it's time to get out. It's 2 o'clock.
She returns to the mall, hoping for another moment of holiday magic, but instead of getting what she came for, this happens.
Something's different.
Meg, can you cut that out?
Dad?
I took an extra job.
Were you the Santa at this mall yesterday?
No.
Oh, thank God.
You'd think Meg would snap out of it, right? Nope. Instead, she drags Stewie on a desperate mall-hopping spree trying to find her original Santa, but every failed attempt only fuels her frustration, pushing her to new lows.
Were you at the Quahog Mall last night?
No, last night I was weeping outside my ex-wife's apartment.
They said my Santa would be here, and you're not him.
I'm sorry.
Where's my Santa?
You are now banned from this mall and every mall in this county.
You're in love with Santa?
Maybe.
Yeah, this one was seriously messed up. Meg, in full breakdown mode, starts rubbing up on random mall Santas. Meg's desperation reaches a whole new level in Barely Legal when her twisted obsession targets Brian, the family dog. It starts with Meg threatening to end it all over not finding a prom date. After failing with a classmate, she hits rock bottom. Brian, out of pity, steps in and agrees to take her. But instead of a sweet family moment, things get downright disturbing. Brian, already regretting it, gets wasted to cope, but Meg takes it as a sign of love.
You're popular because you developed early and started giving handjobs when you were 12. So you pick on Meg to avoid the inevitable realization that once your body's used up by age 19, you're gonna be a worn-out, chalky-skinned burlap sack that even your stepdad won't want. How's that? Am I in the ballpark?
Brian, that was amazing. No one's ever stood up for me like that.
The night takes a creepy turn when Meg becomes completely obsessed. Meg, overwhelmed by attention, kisses Brian. He immediately throws up, blaming alcohol, but Meg sees it as love. The next day, her obsession escalates.
Who the hell is texting me at 8 a.m.? Wait a minute. We just made out a little. She
drags Brian to the mall, clinging to him like they're a real couple.
This is Brian.
So, how did you guys meet?
I'm a friend of her dad's.
Brian's the first serious boyfriend I've ever had.
Look, this has gone a little too far. What happened at the dance was just a mistake.
Oh no, did I do something wrong?
Meg, the fact is you and I are friends, and that's the way it needs to stay.
I understand.
I'm gonna grab Stewie, and then we can go.
What's that, Brian? You were just kidding. Oh, I know you were.
Back home, things turn darker. She bakes Brian a pie with her hair in it.
Oh, this is good. What's in there?
There's some apples in my hair there, and now it's inside of you. Do you feel me inside of you?
Realizing he's lost control, Brian confesses everything to Lois, who orders him to set Meg straight. When he does, she snaps, knocking him out cold and tying him up.
I will never be attracted to you. You're acting like a psycho bitch.
Just as things are about to go way too far, Peter and his friends burst in, saving Brian from Meg's full-on psycho moment. Criss Cross takes Meg's already questionable behavior to a whole new level. It starts when Chris gets humiliated at school for his off-brand sneakers, and after his parents refuse to help, he turns to Meg, who quickly takes advantage of the situation.
Busted. Well, I saw you steal money from Mom's purse. How about I won't tell Mom and Dad about the money if you promise to do whatever I say?
Meg, this is how a lot of porn starts.
Meg's requests start off odd, but harmless, like making Chris do weird stunts.
Chris, I want to wear contacts, so you need to help me.
Really? Is it that hard? Ah, what happened to your eye? Your eye just looks like a ping pong ball.
Where are you? Chris, I'm blind!
I'm sorry, Meg!
But then, it takes a dark turn. Chris later casually reveals that Meg had him stand outside Planned Parenthood, taking photos of girls from school, and then...
All right, good. Now I want you to call them as if you're their dead baby.
Oh, but it gets worse. Meg randomly admits she's in a group that trashes Anne Frank's house every year. Like, what is wrong with this girl? She's out here orchestrating the most unhinged stunts while acting like it's normal. Yeah, somebody lock Meg in therapy immediately. Chris finally snaps and runs off to Herbert's house, but Meg tries covering for him, lying about his whereabouts.
Oh, hi, Meg. Could you tell Chris breakfast is ready?
I think he got up early. He, said something about a fat kid rally at Little Caesars. Oh, don't worry, Mom. I'm sure he'll be home.
The hand that rocks the wheelchair starts off simple enough. Bonnie asks Lois to check on Joe and Susie while she's at the hospital. Not wanting to bother, Lois dumps the job on Meg, leading to one-on-one time between Meg and Joe.
97, 98... 99.
Oh, thanks, Meg. I really appreciate you helping me out.
Then Meg's delusion kicks in. She stops acting like his caregiver and starts playing house. Joe, a bit uneasy, fails to shut it down, letting things spiral.
How are your eggs, Joe?
If he doesn't say anything about me calling him Joe, that means we're truly in love.
She just called me Joe. That's kind of weird. But I'll just let it slide. She's got nothing going on.
They're delicious, Meg. Thanks.
I should have said something.
When Meg learns Bonnie's returning home, she goes full psycho, planting a handgun in Bonnie's bag to get her detained at customs. If nothing else, you gotta respect her persistence. As if things weren't already bad, Meg takes it even further during a dinner out.
Do you ever think about having another baby?
I guess I'm open to it.
So I'll get off the pill.
Well, what do you mean?
Nothing. We haven't made love in 2 weeks.
You haven't made love ever.
Oh, great. Now you've upset the baby.
Joe, now seriously worried, tells Lois and Peter, but they blow him off, until Lois sees the obsession firsthand.
Sorry I bothered you.
Oh my God, Joe was here. I can feel him. I can smell him.
Meg, I think we have to have a talk.
When Lois points out Meg and Joe have 0 in common, Meg goes to insane lengths to prove her wrong.
I made us the same, Joe. We're exactly alike, you and I.
At the hospital, Joe finally sets Meg straight, making it clear she's lost it. Meg, realizing how far she's gone, apologizes to Bonnie. And because this is a cartoon, everything magically resolves itself. But let's be real, this girl breastfed another woman's baby. What the hell? In Friends Without Benefits, Meg Griffin's crush on Kent leads her down a seriously messed up path. She's too intimidated to approach him until a near run-in with Mayor West pushes her to make a move. At first, things seem okay, but after their movie date, Meg leans in for a kiss, only for Kent to pull away and reveal he's gay, and actually into Chris.
Good night.
Night.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Oh my God, I thought you wanted...
I didn't think this was a date.
Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed.
There's something you should know. I'm gay.
You are?
To be honest, I like Chris.
What?
Heartbroken, Meg confides in Brian, who, unluckily for him, is trapped in her room. Trying to console her, Brian suggests Kent might be confused, which gives Meg a terrible idea. Determined to fix Kent, she takes action the next day at school.
I was thinking maybe we should hang out sometime.
Sure.
Well, great. Then we should definitely... Oh, hey, Meg.
Look, I know you're going through a confusing time. I feel like you're not actually gay.
What? No, I told you. I am.
You don't talk or act gay.
Meg's friends try cheering her up, but when they suggest Kent might actually love Chris, she hatches a seriously twisted plan. If she can't have Kent, she'll make sure Chris does, just so she can hear about it firsthand. Yeah, this is bad.
Chris, please just sleep with Kent and then tell me all about it.
Forget it, Meg. I can't just do stuff with another guy.
Chris refuses, even when Meg literally offers him money, so she takes drastic action, spiking his Kool-Aid with roofies. But just before she goes through with it, Chris innocently leaves a childhood photo of them together in her room, triggering a rare moment of guilt. Instead of drugging him, she pours the spiked Kool-Aid into a plant, which doesn't end well for the plant.
Hey, so can I have some of that Kool-Aid now?
No, actually, you can't.
At least this messed up episode has a happy ending. In Trump Guy, the Griffins relocate to Washington, D.C. after Peter lands a job as Donald Trump's press secretary. While the episode mainly focuses on Peter's political blunders and eventual fallout with Trump, Meg has a moment that stands out for being shockingly disturbing. Meg isn't exactly thrilled about the move, especially since she's missing something very important to her.
Welcome to our new place.
Well, I think this sucks. I want to go back to Quahog. Tomorrow at James Woods High, it's Scoliosis Spine Check Day. It's the one day a year I get touched.
She tries to make the best of it and eventually meets Ivanka Trump, bonding over their shared struggle of having idiotic fathers. After Ivanka gives her a full makeover, Meg suddenly finds herself considered attractive. But the real kicker happens when she's introduced to Trump himself. In the middle of their conversation, Meg casually drops a line.
It's an honor to meet you, Mr. President. Yesterday, I was at Quahog Pond, pulling out carps just to watch them suffocate. And now look at me, with the winner of the 46th largest electoral college victory of all time. Oh my God!
About how she enjoys watching fish slowly suffocate to death. It's a quick moment, but one that makes it painfully clear that Meg's got some serious issues. In Boys and Squirrels, Peter, as usual, turns a simple situation into chaos. After acquiring a chainsaw from a neighbor's tragic suicide, he attempts to cut down a tree. Unsurprisingly, it goes horribly wrong.
Oh, my arm!
Mom, look!
Poor thing must have been living in the tree.
It looks like the tree landed on its parents and killed them.
Most would find the situation disturbing, but Meg's reaction is anything but normal.
Nobody touched the smush squirrel bodies. Ooh, I gotta get my camera.
That girl is one giant red flag.
This isn't her first bizarre encounter with squirrels. In Friends Without Benefits, she even teaches Chris how to poison them. Whether it's a vendetta or an obsession, one thing's clear. Meg's behavior with these creatures is downright disturbing. In The Heartbreak Dog, Principal Shepard assigns community service projects, landing Meg in a nursing home.
I'm Meg, your new student volunteer.
What's your name, dear?
It's Meg.
Between you and me, I hate my new student volunteer. She says she's a girl, but she certainly has a boy's body odor.
Sure, old people can be annoying, but Meg sees an opportunity.
Here's your cream. See you Thursday. Oh my God, I can't believe I stole this. I don't feel bad. That woman's a nightmare.
Her crime spree doesn't stop there. When Chris stumbles upon her side hustle, he eagerly joins in.
What's all this stuff?
Stuff I stole from the old folks' home.
Meg, stealing is just plain. Oh my God, is that someone else's glasses?
But eventually, guilt creeps in, and they try to make things right. Yeah, that doesn't work out.
Stealing from the elderly. I should call the police on you. Or maybe instead we do things my way.
In the main storyline, Brian and Bonnie's secret kiss explodes into a mess of revenge pranks and a terrible runaway plan. But even amid all that chaos, Meg's nursing home scheme stands out as shockingly heartless. Meanwhile, in Love Thy Trophy, Peter and his neighbors fight over a parade trophy, but Meg is cooking up her own twisted plan. After coming home crying from school,
Daddy, if you really love me, you buy me a Prada bag.
Are they like $10?
More like 1,100.
You wish I loved you that much.
she gets no help from her parents and lands a job at Flappy Jack's house of pancakes. But then, she hatches a sociopathic scheme. Meg pretends to be a single teen mom and uses Stewie as her fake baby for sympathy.
No experience? No thanks. Oh, nuts. Young lady, what's the little guy's name?
What do you care?
Well, I can't send an unwed teenage mother out on the street without a job.
Stewie, my son.
But her storytelling gets out of hand.
The real challenge is having a baby that's addicted to crack.
Oh, yes, I love crack. I'm absolutely cuckoo for crack.
around, and soon her entire lie unravels.
Hi, little fella. Is Meg Griffin here?
No, she's not.
Probably out scoring more rock. We're placing this baby in a foster home.
What?
For God's sake, feed me!
To get Stewie back, they attempt an espionage mission, but it fails, forcing them to trade the trophy instead.
So we're terribly sorry we broke into your home, but we just had to get Stewie back somehow.
We've grown attached to little Stewie. Plus, the law's on our side.
We'll be back, Stewie.
Wait.
Is that a real Prada bag?
All of that goes to show how far Meg was willing to go.